Redpilled.
Do you like
Red pills?
Do you want to be
Redpilled.
Do you want to stuff your offices with as much
Red pills as
you can? Well, get ready to get
Redpilled.
as fuck, because nowadays you can get yourself a red pill coach. Fuck that shit. Most of the shit that happened to me 7 months ago centered around Braving Ruin and this guy, who calls himself Coach Redpill. And it is arguably this guy who is the biggest piece of shit I have ever encountered anywhere at any time. And I will show to you why. The entirety of the drama around him hinged on one accusation by him. That being that I had doxed him. That I dug up his real name by some illicit scheme and dark ways to fuck him over. The problem with that is, his real name literally was in the description of his YouTube channel. Not once, but 3 times. In his email, in his Patreon, and in the pathetic signature he leaves in the description of his channel. He ends every video with a copyright notice from a company that, if googled, leads directly to his name. He even made a video titled "In His Address." And when I happened to google that name and the company and Braving Ruin did his drama, he deleted his name and claimed they were never there. What this moron doesn't know is that I made an archive before he deleted it. He lied, and he lied for one single purpose. He lied to get attention so this fucking loser could attempt in some way to be the pathetic e-celeb that his talentless, worthless boomer ass will never be. This asshole ends every single video of his with a copyright note to a company that he claimed would never track back to him. However, it immediately leads to his name when googled. So, a compulsive liar who lies his way through this platform for the sole purpose of sucking whatever attention he can get out of anything. So in this video, I'm going to give this little, talentless, lying hack the attention he so craves. All this started because I saw his real name, thanks to him, as I mentioned above, obviously putting it out there himself, and googled it. After that, I took what I found and sent it to people in private, because I believed it to be relevant to their financial security. And through some way, Coach Redpill found out that I had googled his real name, and basically squirmed like a little shit over the fact that I had googled him. You can tell by his demeanor and behavior that he is scared shitless. So what is it that I found about Boomerpill that he didn't want others to know? Well, I found a blog run by Stephen Keen telling a story that I'm going to tell you now. Meet Stephen Keen, an Australian professor for economics at the London School of Economics. Besides publishing on a regular basis, he likes to make videos talking about his theories in the field of economics. Stephen Keen was approached by Coach Redpill a few years back, who offered him a business deal. Coach Redpill would set up a webpage with a paid subscription service. Keen will make content for that site, and Keen's followers will pay to view it. The income would be split between the two. This site ran for a couple of months until Stephen Keen asked Coach Redpill to shut it down. Coach Redpill, though, well, he did the Redpilled thing to do. He kept the site running and kept getting cash from Keen's followers despite Keen not uploading content. Keen started receiving angry emails from people subscribed to the site inquiring about how he was supposedly receiving money for nothing in return. As a result, Keen started writing emails to Coach Redpill asking him to shut down the site, which didn't happen. And over time, the emails Stephen Keen wrote to Coach Redpill became angrier and angrier and angrier as more and more people sent Coach Redpill money expecting Keen's work but receiving nothing, and then angrily complaining to Keen. Keen was powerless to even shut that site down that was run under his real name and his reputation as an economist. He was reduced to opening a blog and warning people to not give money to that site. For comparison, imagine being a YouTuber and some person sets up a Patreon in your name and keeps getting money in your name while promising to post Patreon-only content in your name. Now, you may look at this and think, this could be fraud. Even worse, this might be identity theft. But trust the boomer coach. This is just Redpilled. You need to take that fucking red pill and accept that there's absolutely nothing wrong going on here. Eventually, Coach Redpill did respond to Stephen Keen, demanding $7,500 for the site to be shut down, which Keen refused. Back to the comparison, imagine you're a YouTuber. Someone sets up a Patreon pretending to be you, takes money pretending to be you, while promising Patreon-only content by you while pretending to be you, and when you ask him to stop, he tells you that he will only stop if you give him $7,500. Now you may say this sounds like blackmail, but you're wrong. You can do this kind of shit if you're just Redpilled, and there would be absolutely nothing wrong with it because it's Redpilled. Eventually the site got shut down. However, I am not red-pilled enough, and after looking at this stuff, I figured that this guy may not be, very trustworthy. That what he allegedly did to Stephen Keen, he might do to others too. So I took that stuff and sent it to all the YouTubers I knew who were being contacted by this guy, advising them not to trust him or do any kind of business dealings with him. Now there has been a lot of speculation to who I sent this information, who I shared it with, who knew, who #knew. So far only one person has admitted to knowing.
Jim knew.
Yes, Jim. I know you knew, Jim. I know you are red-pilled on the Coach Redpill question. I had it sent to you through The Guardian. But besides that, I decided to not reveal the people with who I shared this with. But, as I announced during a live stream, I will reveal one person I shared it with. So who knew? Braving Ruin. I sent it to Braving Ruin through The Guardian, telling Guardian that I don't like the alt-right, but don't want to watch alt-right YouTubers potentially being scammed out of their money by an alleged fraud. And Braving Ruin reacted with gratitude. He said how much he didn't trust Coach Redpill, that Coach Redpill was running around asking people for their real names and identities, and that he always records every conversation he ever has with him. Then something weird happened. Braving Ruin turned around and claimed I was an evil doxer who had doxed Coach Redpill. King of Pool posted the stuff I showed to Guardian on Kiwi Farms, even though I told him not to post it on Kiwi Farms. Basically, all this information that I wanted to show in private was made public, and if anyone had bothered browsing that Kiwi Farms thread, King of Pool was literally bragging and celebrating there about how I was getting blamed for what he was doing. But back to Boomerpill. With that cat out of the bag, I think we can show more about him. This is a guy who went on Russia Today on several occasions, repeatedly, always with the same stupid theory that the dollar is about to collapse for several years. And according to him, this person who you see here on these various appearances on Russia Today, this is apparently not him.
Well, there's a guy who has been on Russia Today, who bears a remarkable similarity to me. He even talks like me, and he even says things like "you see" and stuff. But, you know, he's not Coach Redpill.
Now, you might be saying, woo, those are very similar, though. It's almost like they are the same person. Well, shut the fuck up, you cuck. You're just not red-pilled enough. But you see, all this shit doesn't matter, because even though he may be a public figure, there is a giant CRP put stepping stone that stands in the way of him being a public figure.
Today,
Do I have a
your name attached to
Wikipedia
it.
page? I think that, you know, having a Wikipedia page would be like the demonstration that somebody is a public figure or is not a public figure. Do I have a Wikipedia page? No, I don't. Under my actual name or like as CRP.
You see, you can't be a public figure without a Wikipedia page about you, and Coach Redpill doesn't have a Wikipedia page. Oh my, what is this? This is a Spanish Wikipedia article on him written years ago, but that's not even the best part. The best part is that this is a leftover. Coach Redpill wrote his own Wikipedia articles in English and Spanish about himself. Then people turned up adding all the shit he did to Stephen Keen. Coach Redpill tried to edit it out of the English Wikipedia article, and then the Wikipedia moderators decided to shut down the article. Apparently the only thing more red-pilled than writing your own Wikipedia article about yourself is pretending that it never existed. This is the guy who claimed he never associated that aspect of his life with YouTube or the alt-right, but happened to go on podcasts with Richard Spencer way back in 2010, was a casual friend with Richard Spencer over years, and appeared in videos by alt-right YouTube channels back in early 2017. Now you may say that definitely disproves the idea that Coach Redpill separated those two identities, but you're just not red-pilled enough. But back to the drama bullshit. My family got threatened and I disappeared off YouTube. And then it was revealed that it was never ever even about his background in the first place. It was all about Sargon. More importantly, the fact that Coach Redpill could get more attention out of fucking with Sargon and getting Sargon's attention. However, he did so rather stupidly by being honest for once and telling him such things like, quote, "Honesty is just a tactic." Now, you may sit here and think, if you say honesty is just a tactic, why the fuck would I believe anything you say? That just shows you're a fundamentally dishonest person with nothing of value to say. Well, fuck you. You're just not red-pilled enough. Now, just you wait, such an enlightened and big-brained individual sure must make some amazing content, well-researched, highly thoughtful, and truly the source of many, many
red pills.
You know, Lacey Green is kind of like an awful person. This YouTube drama, which I ordinarily do not cover. I mean, my name is not scarce, it's not Keemstar. Lacey Green is dating Chris Raygun. Fairly disgusting. It is inevitably messy. Sargon, Armored Skeptic, Shoe on Head, they all loved her. Masturbation, every guy does it. Some women who follow me and subscribe to my channel and who watch my videos. Of a truly complete mind, of a mind that can actually understand the world, is to hold competing ideas, contradictory ideas, simultaneously in your head. I have 30 subscribers after, what is it, about a month of doing videos? 30 subscribers and 450 views. Gotta grind it out.
Just a cum chugger, a goony bird, a fluffer who comes up to bigger YouTubers and tries to leech off their numbers.
Wow, that's just, wow, fuck me. Do you hear that? That's, wow, that's the sound of enlightenment. That's the sound of a man enlightening you. What more enlightenment does this man have to offer? You see, Coach Redpilled claims to have been
Redpilled
since 1991, even though he kept tweeting George Soros and Gawker articles before he ever became Coach Redpilled. In that Twitter account of his, you can also find this amazing picture, which he claims his girlfriend took. Now, you might be saying, I can see him holding his camera in the reflection on the shades. That's just the hand with which he jerks off his little micro dick. Well, boy, you're just not
Redpilled
enough to have an emotionally connected sexual relationship with your limbs.
Masturbation, every guy does it. Every guy does it, and everybody starts doing it roughly around the same age, around the age of 12. In my own case, I started at the age of 12, and I have gone uninterrupted since.
How did Coach Redpilled get
Redpilled?
Well, according to his videos and Reddit threads, he was falsely accused of rape at Dartmouth College in 1991. And that shit really
Redpilled
him. Even worse is that his accuser supposedly had deleted emails that would have proven him innocent. But you might scratch your head at this point as you read this story. You might read through it and realize, wait a moment. You couldn't delete emails in 1991. That option was first made available by AOL in 1994. You might also read his story and realize that the legal process he describes didn't exist until 2011. Maybe he is lying. Maybe he had futuristic emails in 1991. Maybe he traveled 20 years into the future to be falsely accused of rape. Or maybe, just maybe, he might just be really
Redpilled.
Now, I didn't find any records of this boomer pill, Days of Future Past rape matter. In fact, when I looked at his LinkedIn, there is something else that is rather funny. Now, on LinkedIn, after you make a profile, you can connect it to the profiles of the institutions you worked at and at which you received your education at. Do you see what's weird here? This is what's wrong. That Dartmouth College account his profile is connected to. Because this here is the real official account of the Dartmouth College. The one he is connected to in his account is a sock account. Now you might say that this is pathetic, fucking laughable, making a sock account of a college to pretend you have a degree from it. But nah man, that shit is really Redpilled, and fucking hell is life easier when Redpilled. Fuck school, guys. Fuck stupid blue-pilled shit like books. Fuck lectures. Fuck exams. Get fucking
Red-pilled.
That way you can ascribe to yourself any kind of education, whatever you wish to have, without actually having to learn anything for it. Back on YouTube after the drama, he tried to keep up appearances by making claims after claims about his greatness and grandeur, claiming to be the hottest shit out there.
I directed movies, and produced. Well, actually, I directed just a couple of movies, and I produced a lot more. Executive produced. Basically financed.
Net. How many figures?
Net, probably low sevens.
Okay.
At 35.
At 35. Okay, good. Low 7. That's net. Yeah?
Yes, I understand what net means.
Okay. I win. You got low 7s, I win by multiples.
Then you should be able to put in a $499 super chat right now.
Because I'm an investor. I've been an investor since, 97. I invest in different businesses. Okay, that's how I earn my living. Okay, I do other stuff for fun. The YouTube stuff, I'm doing it for fun.
And gave us some other gems, such as
I wanted to have a video record of myself talking about things that were relevant to my son, because I have a small son. He's 3 years old. And by the time he's a young man, I'll be either in a loony bin or dead, right? So I figured it would be smart to do videos where I talk about things that will be important to him when he's in his late 20s, early 30s.
followed by
How many children?
0.
Okay, I've got 4 by 3 different women.
Okay, so you're a shitty dad. Congratulations.
No, I've been able to procreate in a way that you haven't.
You think having illegitimate children makes you smart?
No, it makes me successful in the Darwinian struggle for reproduction. That's what it makes me.
Now you may say if he actually cared about his kids, he would bother raising them, but that's just some blue-pilled cuck bullshit. Get fucking
Red-pilled.
and stop caring about your children. However, this is a pattern that is repeated throughout all his life. That company you find at the end of every video, it's a shell company. When you Google it, all you find is a notice by the London City Council that no business whatsoever seems to be done there. And therefore, if the owner doesn't soon prove to the city that business is actually being done there, the city will shut it down. This is something that he has been doing all his life. He lists blogs as businesses. He has life sheets in which he claims to have directed movies that are either so irrelevant nobody ever watched them, or that don't exist. He claims to be a video game developer who developed the game Soldier of Fortune. However, a book on video game development reveals he was hired as a story advisor. Yes, a story advisor to a game like this. And none of his advice, by the way, was taken. He claims to be a successful novelist, but his books on Amazon seem to be barely touched, and positive reviews are written by sock accounts. Another funny thing is how he claims to make his videos for his kids to watch in the future, but as shown before, he brags on streams about how he is a deadbeat who doesn't care for the children he puts into this world. How fucking red-pilled. Now, you may look at all this and think that this is typical for a fluffer, possibly even a fraud, someone who claims to have success where there is none, in hope of impressing people into giving him something. You might say that real success comes from actual work rather than lies. Well, in that case, you're just a fucking blue-pilled cuck. Better orbiter. Take the fucking red pill, cause real red-pilled men are deadbeats with zero credentials who have to lie on the internet for $1 or $2 and a little bit of attention. Now, by being a shithead to Sargon and V, he kind of fucked himself. Put himself into a position where he had to suck up to whatever he could get, whatever stream he could jump onto. And he would, resulting in the funniest duo of all time when Coach Women Are Like Dogs Red Pill streamed with Christy I Wouldn't Even Obsess About You Winters, fucking even flirting with her for a little bit of attention. Now, you might say that removing your dick with a cheese crater is preferable to flirting with Winters, that I might prefer splitting my dick all over again than do anything like that. But you're wrong. Hitting on that obsessive, crazy stalker, that's just really fucking red-pilled. Remember my initial concern, the reason why I shared all this shit with people and told them not to trust a guy? That I had the suspicion of him being a fraud and a scumbag who would take advantage of you.
Because I'm an investor. I've been an investor since, 97. I invest in different businesses. Okay, that's how I earn my living. Okay,
I do other stuff for fun. The YouTube stuff, I'm doing it for fun. Andy Worski, you might not like Andy Worski, but he's the future.
I'm not going to pull a fucking Jeff Holiday or all those other people who have meltdowns that last months and months.
Come now, join Coach in real greatness to be found in financial endeavors and invest in this pile of dog shit. And while you're at it, come invest in the Christian dollar. Invest in the Wings of Redemption Early Retirement Fund. The same investors also promote the absolutely red-pilled as fuck Warski nipple bonds. In the end, Coach Redpill is the single most disgusting thing I have ever seen here on YouTube. The irony being that he proved me right. The reason I googled that name and that company he had in his videos is because of that first impression I got of him. Ever notice how he keeps wearing old clothes, how he constantly overstates himself, how he claims to be a grand genius yet spends his time spewing shit, how he claims to be this great businessman but films himself in an apartment in the shitty part of London, how he supposedly is a rich millionaire but lives in an eastern Ukrainian dumpster fire bordering a war zone, how he claims political convictions but betrays them at every corner, how he desperately tries to garner the attention of those more successful than him. I saw all this 8 months ago and my first thoughts were, this doesn't look legit, and he has been hating me ever since. Sorry boy, honesty isn't just a tactic, honesty is what one builds success on. Giving you that kind of lectures though like talking to the wind. You're a perpetual liar and a wannabe Machiavellian narcissist. And you're also the kind of guy who just doesn't stop and is too dumb to realize that even he himself is nothing more than a pawn used in a game played by Braving Ruin. A guy who himself thinks that you're a shitbag. Now, here is, in my opinion, the worst thing about Coach Redpill.
You know, like a crowd is like making moves to come back, and you know, he said didn't do nothing, blah blah blah. You know, tell crowd that he should be smart and move on with his life into something else, something new, something fresh. But you know, he's not going to pay attention to what I have to say. You know, and oh yeah, what's that all about? Now, the fact of the matter is that there are 3 women who can testify to his behavior insofar as sexual assault, and one of them is potentially kidnapping. That is serious shit. Sexual assault and 1 kidnapping. This shit is out in the public. He is going to get into trouble if he keeps annoying people. He should just move on. But look, I think that you should tell Kraut that, you know, there are a lot of people who would be happy to have him roasted some more out of their own amusement. Okay? Because I mean, you know how this neck of the woods works. There are a lot of people who enjoy torturing others just for the lulls, you know.
Okay, let's kind of like make something very clear here.
Sure.
There's no concrete evidence out there that there was.
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
No concrete evidence.
Yes, this fuckhead wanted to frame me for rape when he found out I might be making videos addressing all this from my side. He decided to try and keep me off YouTube by planning to frame me for rape. I want you to listen to this again.
There's no concrete evidence out there that there was.
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
No concrete evidence.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that the accusations are not true. Yeah, the guy who claims to be the super red-pilled men's rights life coach doesn't care that a rape accusation is not true. In fact, he goes so far as to just make up rape accusations himself over YouTube. This recording was made by a friend of mine a short while ago who Coach Redpill contacted to pass this threat on to me. Yes, that's how dumb he is. If that doesn't show you how much of a shitbag this slimy little toad is, and that I was justified in warning people of him, I don't know what will. You claim to have been doxed by me, yet you put your own information into your channel. You claim not to be scared of getting doxed, yet scream like a little baby when people Google the companies and names you put out yourself. You claim to be a rich man, but you're basically a hobo. You claim to be a big brain intellect, but talk nothing but shit. You claim to be a successful investor, but you sell fucking coach coin. You claim to be educated, but pose with a college sock account. You claim to be a successful businessman, but your shell company is about to get shut down for lack of business. You claim to care for your kids, yet brag about being a deadbeat piece of shit. You claim to have kept your identity separate from the alt-right, but you have been friends with Richard Spencer since 2010. You claim to be falsely accused of rape, but falsely accuse others of rape. You are a piece of shit. I should have made all this shit I found on you public 8 months ago, rather than sharing it in private and getting bogged down in endless conversations with other YouTubers on if it is ethical to expose you or not, since I was conflicted on if I should, because fuck yeah would it have been the ethical thing to do, to expose such a vile and repulsive piece of shit like you. I had no idea that this is the kind of filth one would find within the alt-right. A man who is nothing, was nothing, will never be anything, a worthless existence, a waste of oxygen, an unsuccessful parasite whose sole drive is to feed off others by all means, a creature so deranged that it prides itself in being dishonest, a creature that can fuck off. Consider yourself
Redpilled.